Hello, my name is Brendan Stuyvesant. I'll be presenting for the HMD 410 Capstone assignment. I'll be doing mine over the front desk wait times and the lobby. All right. So the current business, existing business, um, we have for checking at the front desk is having guests wait in line to speak with a front desk representative. This front desk representative must verify guest details, including their check-in and check-out dates, the address, email, phone number, and the credit card on file. They must also offer a room upgrade to enhance the guest stay and offer any recommendations if any are requested. This process ensures guest satisfaction by providing each guest with the respect and genuine interest they deserve. However, the process does take time. We're limited with the amount of desk space that we have, as well as the number of check-in agents we have. This then leads to longer wait times and lower guest satisfaction. Business problem. Currently, when guests arrive at our hotel, they're immediately faced with a long line at the check-in counter. Our average wait time is over 30 minutes, reaching sometimes over an hour. This leaves guests with a bad taste in their mouth and starting their vacation on the wrong foot. When you come in, you just want to get straight to the vacation. You don't want to have to sit in line and just wait, basically, to get started. Guests attempting this, so the other problem is that guests attempting to receive more keys for to their room, or if they have any questions that they need to follow up on, um, or if they have an issue, let's say, and they have to wait in this line as well, it's going to further annoy the guests and lead to further challenges, especially if there's some like major issues such as like a plumbing problem. Now they have to wait in line for 30, 45 minutes to get that just even heard about. That could be a major issue for us. And yeah, I won't help very much. Um, there are several small solutions that I think we could implement that combined would make a major fix for this very huge problem that we're facing. Um, Firstly, implementing a mobile check-in feature either through the app or an email confirmation. A majority of properties, both in Las Vegas and throughout the world, now offer some sort of mobile check-in option. If our hotel does decide to include this, we can still require guests to stop at the front desk to verify their ID and credit card to ensure that there's no fraud and still issue physical keys to the guest as well. This allows us still to offer upgrades to the guest if they are available, increasing revenue. Also be able to verify their status if they're parking with us, provide them a faster check-in experience because we'll already have all the information needed and get them started on their vacation. Super easy with that. Next solution, we've got a virtual chatbot. This is an integrated chatbot that will assist with general questions. The guests can text or call using the in-room phone or their own personal phone. This will limit people going down to the desk as often. We'll also answer simple questions, such as what checkout time is, provide directions, as well as complete simple requests, such as a late checkout. We can also delegate a few of our front desk staff to take a second, smaller line, specifically for mobile check-in guests and guest inquiries to keep them separate from the main line of people and provide a dedicated service to these guests. This would further enhance or further make people want to do the mobile check-in more often, which would again limit the check-in times and slow it down. We would really only need a separate line at our peak check-in times around noon and around 3 p.m. when the check-in times usually start. This way, we can just get people in and moving, not have them wait in those super long lines. Otherwise, just one line would work as well. Um, and then with this chatbot, like I said, it'll be easier. The only thing that they would need to come down for is more keys. They can text the chatbot and it'll inform somebody. We'll have like a team set aside that will work on those as well if there are any major issues. That way they can get assistance immediately and not have to wait in another line to if there was a plumbing issue, for instance. Next up is the main solution, but this is going to take a little bit, which is why it's step number 3. It's going to be your self check-in kiosk. This is hopefully going to end the wait times altogether. These have begun to be implemented across Las Vegas and throughout the hospitality industry with mixed success. Some places like Caesars Entertainment and their properties in Las Vegas have gone all in on the kiosk without implementing any other processes and have cut their front desk staff. It works in theory until it doesn't work. And once those kiosks stop working and there's only 2 or 3 front desk people there to check in 100 plus guests, it's going to lead to very serious problems. So going all in on it, at least right now, doesn't make any sense to me. But I feel like implementing all three of these steps, especially in conjunction with each other, and then just making sure it's timed out correctly so things are working correctly, will lead to overall major success, limiting our wait times, guest satisfaction up to 10, perfect for what we're looking for. Another major benefit of including these is that so we do still want to prioritize guests to go to the actual desk, but having these other options available will take guests away from the main line. It's also going to allow guests that are sick or can become sick, like immunocompromised folks, um, can limit their interactions with other people and just get straight to their vacation because they deserve to have a safe and enjoyable vacation as well. This process should be quick and easy and only require the guest to scan their ID and provide payment. That way we can ensure that we're looking at the right reservation and get them on their way. The kiosk will ask the guests if they parked a vehicle or if they wanted to upgrade, same as like a normal check-in person as well, and it'll make charges as needed as well. Next up, I'll have the timeline for you listed here. So year zero, this is once we decide we're going all in on this plan. If we decide to do that, of course, we'll begin development of the mobile check-in and chatbot at the same time. I believe the mobile check-in shouldn't take too long, anywhere between 2 to 6 months at most to develop that mobile check-in. It's just an email with a payment plan. That's super, in my opinion, it'd be super easy to implement. Once it's done, we can start testing that out, get that um, into use. And then that way we're still working on the chatbot at the same time because I feel like that'll take a little bit longer. At about the half year mark, we'll have it fully implemented into the system for sure. I want to give it about 6 months just to make sure that everything is working correctly and that any bugs that we encounter, or if it's not like collecting the correct amount of funds, we can get that corrected and just make sure that it's still collecting all the right information. Like I said in the beginning, address, email, phone number, and their card. Um, Next is the chatbot. I want that to be done and ready to go at 1 year after we decide to do this. That way, the mobile check-in we've confirmed is good to go, and we can start working on that chatbot, getting it out there, getting our staff trained on it so they know what to expect with it, and get the public okay with it, aware of its existence, and get it being utilized as well. Once that's in play, I want to have that being uh, just worked on still for another 6 months, just like any bugs that we encounter, just keep our team on standby for another 6 months just to make sure everything gets fixed promptly. And we know what to expect with it by about a year and a half in as well. Once we have the chatbot and the mobile check-in down on lock, perfect to go, that's when I think we'll start developing the kiosks because that is going to be the major thing to work on. I want to start working on that obviously about half a year in, honestly, as soon as possible. But that's when we're really going to go all in on the kiosk, making sure everything works perfectly because those are our biggest risk. And I'll go over that in the next page for you here. But we'll get that implemented in about year two. So about another 6 months after it should be fully good to go. Get that into in the trial sort of sense, so like one or two kiosks. Every once in a while, a guest will go there, test it out, make sure that it's working great. I want to have a full year of testing with those kiosks because, like I've said, next slide, there's so many challenges that we can face with those, and we need to make sure that those are perfect before we are releasing those out into the world. Then by year three, I want to have the success confirmed on those kiosks and fully implement them, have that as a staple feature of our hotel. People can use it willy-nilly or go to the desk, up to them at that point. All right, now for the costs and risks, we're going to start with the mobile check-in. There are very few risks and costs for implementing a mobile check-in. The only cost I can see is, of course, paying the developers, setting that up for us, and then the storage that it'll take for holding all the information that we'll be getting from these guests. Obviously, it's going to be the same whether they use the mobile check-in or not, but you still have to include that in there, of course. As for risks, the main risk that I can see is the potential use of fraud. by guests using either not their card, an expired card, um, any number of ways that they can use fraud. But the easiest way to negate that is forcing guests to still go to the desk to verify all this information and give them physical keys. That's why I don't think implementing, at least now, a mobile key option we just can't verify. And that can open us up to a lot of lawsuits and other challenges. So forcing guests to still go to the desk, that way we can verify their ID, the last four of the card, make sure the name is on the card. We should be good at that point. Um, we've done everything that we can do at that point. And then we can still, again, offer them upgrades and do everything else that a normal check-in would. Now, for the chatbot, there's a few more potential issues. Some concerns are if the chatbot is given incorrect information, it can lead to guest complaints, such as if it's giving bad directions to like our taxi stand or to a restaurant, it's telling them to go to the left if they're supposed to go to the right. That can just lead to some problems that we really don't want to face. It can also start giving out like way too late of checkouts, like somebody asked for like an 8 p.m. late checkout and it just does it. We definitely don't want that. We definitely need those rooms or they need to pay for it. Um, the major cost for that, not a lot. Like I said, it's probably just going to be the developers and then the storage as well. Not much. The nice thing about it as well is that if so, the other major concern is that if the chatbot does go down for an extended period of time, we would need to keep that separate line for guest inquiries and the mobile check-in 24/7 while the chatbot is down, just so we can ensure that we're assisting guests in a timely manner. Don't want them joining the queue for the normal check-ins as well. So other than that, super easy, but it's just going to add more time, which is not what we want to do. Now for the self-checking kiosks, like I was saying earlier, there are several risks and several expenditures that are going to come from this, um, which is why they must be tested strenuously prior to implementation. Major risks of implementing this technology are the same as any human agent checking someone in, putting a guest or giving the guest a wrong room number in compared to what their keys are set for and they're set for in the system. Um, or giving keys to the wrong suites. That can lead to, or to the wrong room, sorry. That can lead to security issues and lawsuits, and it could just be a major headache. Um, I mean, that's a safety concern, so we do have to take that very seriously. It can also charge an incorrect amount. I've seen some places that like you go to the actual desk and you want to upgrade to a room and they should tell you the lowest they can do is 100. And then you go to the kiosk and it'll do it for 30. So there's just stuff like that that we need to keep an eye on as well. Um, Another major issue is it's going to be expensive. It on average is costing about $75,000 per kiosk, but that's of course with all of the back end work and all the information needed, get it integrated into the system and the maintenance that goes on with it. But if we want to do six, which is what I think would be best for us, since we're looking at about 600 to 800 arrivals per day for our hotel, having six should be good to limit the amount of people that are going to the line. We're looking at $300,000 as an investment for these kiosks. So that's going to be a lot. And again, why we need to make sure that these are working perfectly. It's a steep price to invest into the business, but will allow us to achieve our goal of under 10-minute wait times during these peak check-in periods. And overall, they will pay for themselves through the upgrades and through the parking charges. And eventually, once these are so common that everybody's using those over going to the desk, we can start limiting our staffing as well, and cut down on our labor costs as well. So that's super nice. Next is our measuring success and metrics. We're going to go back to the mobile check-in. For this, there is a couple of features that come with it, which is super nice, or are not super nice, but are ways that we want to track it just to make sure that everything is going super nice. I want for the mobile check-in to see a 15% decrease in the wait times for once that's implemented. Of course, if it's more than 15%, I'm super happy with that. If it's less than, I mean, there's only so much we can do. You still do have to go to the desk. We still have to verify everything. It'll be quicker, of course, because we already have all the information, but you still have to wait in line. You still have to go to the desk. So that's why For that, I'm not super worried about hitting the goal. I would love to. It'd be fantastic, but I'm not super worried about it. Now, for the chat bot, we're looking at another additional 15% decrease in the wait time. This is because we won't need guests going down to the queue, excuse me, going down, waiting in the queue, and then going and talking with our agents as well. They'll be able to take care of most of their issues through the chatbot, and then we'll of course have that separate line during our peak times that they can go to with the mobile check-in as well, which should decrease our wait times as well if the virtual chatbot wasn't being successful. Well, I would also like to see at least 30% of our guests attempt to use the system. Of course, it's not going to work or it's not going to be able to do everything that we want it to do, so that we'll have to go down to the desk. But if at least 30% attempt to use it, I'm happy. That means we it was worthwhile putting our investment into doing that. Now for the kiosks, this is going to be a big ask, but I would like to see after year three, after the full year of it being implemented, but like on the timeline year three, I would like to see a 30% decrease additionally in our wait times, that getting us down to under 10-minute wait times is the goal overall. This is our main goal. And I would like to see at least 20% of our guests using this, which is not honestly much to ask for, especially if we're having our convention guests utilizing these self-checking kiosks because they don't want to wait in line. They don't want to talk to anybody. They just want to get their keys and they want to go to their concert or their, not concert. Well, that too, but they want to go to their conference. They just want to get everything taken care of and on their way. So I feel like 20% is not hard to ask for in a full year. And people using that won't need to go to the desk. So that's going to decrease our wait times as well. So it should be good there. Last but not least are just my references. Most of them are just about ways to decrease the hotel reception, which is where I got my ideas for this. The other ones are how much it would cost to implement the kiosk and the other systems as well. Other than that, thank you for listening to this presentation. I hope you consider our options that I provided for you today. Once again, thank you and have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.